Autorama.
Boski.
So the Gujarat, tour of Gujarat
Absolutely.
on the KTM390 Adventure. As soon as running in finished, how many kilometers?
I think 3,800 kilometers or something, roughly.
3,800 kilometer trip.
Yeah. Yep.
Good. So we will not call you Autorama anymore. We'll call you Adventure Autorama.
I guess so. There's a lot of difference. There's a lot of difference.
Yeah. How was the trip? How did you enjoy this motorcycle?
To be honest, this is a very, very different thing. I should say my riding experience has the enjoyment has gone several notches higher. I think it shows on my face. But keep that aside. But I think it's about 10 years since I started riding again, touring. This is probably the biggest difference that I've seen from bike to bike to bike.
Yeah, I agree with that because it's about 10 years since we have been touring together.
Yeah.
And on this ride, you far outstripped my expectations of because I am used to a certain way, seeing you ride in a certain way, take breaks in a certain way, and I see a level of fatigue and tiredness. We were all end of a long day.
At the end of it, yes.
We all are tired by X amount, Y amount. So I used to see you tired by say a degree of 10, which I normally used to see. For half the distance we used to ride about 7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
This Gujarat trip, you were like your tiredness level, fatigue level was about 2, and you were ready to go another 120 kilometers.
I was ready. I was always ready.
Your massive change. I'm sure it is not just one thing that has given you this massive bump up in your comfort and satisfaction. How would you sum it up to say what are those factors that has made you become several levels of comfort, ease, less fatigue, and ready to roll again? And we rode every day, every day, non-stop we were riding.
Yes. You know, first of all, I'll have to thank you for the compliment that you've given me with respect to my riding style and the kind of the fatigue that I used to have earlier, and the markedly huge difference that you saw. I think towards actually, you know, before I got the KTM with this bike, this acquisition that I made, I thought my riding style changed a bit during the last days of my previous bike, which was the Himalayan. Probably I was revving it more. I was riding it in a much better gear or a lower gear, thanks to some inputs that you gave me on our Tawang ride. But that actually, I took it up, and then when I got onto this bike, that just stayed on my mind. So I know my transition from my earlier bike to the 390 Adventure was just seamless. I could see the difference. You know, I really enjoyed it. I think the first day we did about 650 odd kilometers in about 12 hours, I guess, with a few breaks, about 8 hours of riding time.
Happy breakfast breaks, happy lunch breaks, happy tea breaks, happy flask coffee breaks.
Absolutely.
No, we were just enjoying the ride.
Yeah,
we were enjoying the ride.
Yeah, it was awesome, and I think that set the tempo for me for the entire ride.
No, we gave him a few tips on the RPM. CK gave a few tips, especially on the RPM, to push it a little more before shifting, hold on to a certain optimum RPM. So he started doing that on the Himalayan. So there was a step up. Few tips, simple things. Those things were applied on the Himalayan and gave this much of desired result. The same thing he applied on the KTM 390, and the results were like this. So this motorcycle responds to inputs and rewards to such a fantastic degree that I keep ranting and raving about this. What mileage did you get on an average?
30, 33, 35.
Oh, fantastic mileage for a bike that puts out this kind of power. And
even I was surprised.
Yeah.
But, I was surprised, but sorry to that.
And we were comfortably way past 100 kilometers per hour most of the time.
Yeah.
That's something to note. How was the? We encountered a bit of guards also. Nashik, Rajpipla and all those. So we took
So
some side roads.
that was a pretty long stretch.
Yeah, good long. How was it? Flicking it around?
Easy. It's so light, so very easy to flick it around. And the confidence of the braking, that's actually, to be honest, that has made a big difference to my riding.
The bike stops.
Yeah,
and you know it can come to a stop.
There's technology, right?
There's technology.
You're confident. The confidence really goes high. Confidence really goes high. And I was like, I really liked it. How I love the guard roads generally.
Yeah, you like this.
And the other part was that I kept the bike also lighter. In terms of baggage.
Wait.
Yeah,
I keep harping on that thing. There is nothing called overdoing weight. Okay, this is Dodda's motorcycle. There are a few pictures on our Insta page on how this looked. It had one big BBMP or Nandini milk box in the back, this big. It had some massive frames. It had huge pipes. It was like an armored personal carrier in the Ukraine war or something, It's 10-15 kilos. What is the point of making a KTM heavy? I cannot understand that. So I convinced him. He rode Sriram's bike. He said, I want to get rid of all this shit. So there you go. It is a KTM. We don't need to fear it like a Triumph or a Ducati or something that you drop there, spend 1 lakh to fix a small shroud. These are cheap, made by Bajaj or KTM. So keep it light. See this Sriram Autorama, he keeps saying it. The motorcycle is lighter. It comes to a stop faster.
Absolutely.
The motorcycle is lighter. We can save it. In case it's going to do something, the chances of saving it are very high. The motorcycle is lighter, it's going to give mileage, crazy mileage like this, 32, 33, 34. A motorcycle is lighter, it will do much better top end speed. A motorcycle is lighter, it will accelerate faster. A motorcycle is lighter, you can carry more luggage. Tell me one thing what a light motorcycle is a disadvantage. Please put it in the comments. Let me know, make me aware, I'll find out, and if there is something useful to debate, I would love to engage with you on that.
Actually, there was an instance, I think you were behind.
Yeah.
We stopped for a snack break before Bhuj. And you remember there was one patch where there were a lot of trucks which were parked.
Yeah.
The same place we actually came back also. And sand. As I
get off the road, there's so much of sand.
As I moved out of the sand, from the sand onto the road, there was enough sand on the road for large extent. There was a tire company also on that road, if I'm right. And there was a truck going ahead. And
Balkrishna tires, BKT.
Yeah. And then suddenly at one point of time, the truck ahead of it, there was a tipper truck or something, which braked. Fortunately, that guy had tail lamps, brake lights which were working. And then I braked right at the back. The bike just stopped.
Yeah.
And there was no even though there was sand on the road at that time, or that place, but it didn't shake. That was like, it was the heart and the...
That's technology. That's technology. Lean sensitive ABS, lean sensitive traction control, I think. So whatever it is. So overall, on 10, what would you give this motorcycle?
Is there anything greater than 10 that I can
give? There you go. There you go. There's one happy KTM 390 Adventure. Now tell me, we hit some massively big expressways, especially the one from Durga to Davangere. How was it on the, because that's a windy section, because a lot of wind turbines there. Wind turbines means it's a windy area.
Yes.
And they were spinning. Many of them were spinning. So how was it in that windy? Did you find it any difficult, any easy? How was it?
I found it easy. In fact, I was ripping at a good speed.
Cool.
I probably think that was the first time that I hit about 140, 150 odd after buying this bike. Because the first 1,000 kilometers was when he was just running in, so I wasn't doing it. But it was like, I could sense, even with a lighter bike, and you think, okay, maybe there's
it blows around.
But no, it's the confidence, the stability of the bike, and the winds really didn't make much of a difference. And I could just hold the throttle and go. I know you guys were ahead. I was trying to catch up because
we were all doing around 130, 140.
But and of course the thought of the breakfast, the benne dosa that we were supposed to have, sagar, that was more motivating. But I've done that stretch before.
Yeah.
This was totally different. Totally different.
There you go. You need a heavy motorcycle to be stable in crosswinds. Debunked. Because even if a lighter motorcycle gets shaken a bit in the crosswind, it is light and is easy to hang on to and bring it back to the direction you want it to go. So we don't need a heavy motorcycle. Weight is everything. Okay, that was good. Then there were some bad stretches. How did you experience this motorcycle on those bad stretches?
Well, I didn't find much of an issue.
Pretty confident.
Pretty confident.
No panic.
No panic.
Seeing dust, dirt, pebbles, debris.
I really didn't panic, and it was perfect. The handling was perfect. There was no worry about being skidding and all that. I think the brakes and everything was perfect.
So you had no problem in any of those?
Not at all.
Pretty cool. And then we did ride through some congested towns, villages. How was it?
Unusually, it was very hot. Yeah. Apparently, there was some heat wave.
Okay. How was the motorcycle in hot, tightly congested roads?
Tightly congested at where the traffic is almost bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
I could sense a little bit of difficulty. Not. I would not say that it's very too difficult, but there was a lot of amount. There was heat being generated,
and then
fans, and then of course you had to be on a lower gear.
Yeah.
There's always the worry that if you are on a higher gear, then the engine can stall. So there's always that worry. Bumper to bumper, low gear, there's heat, but I think it was manageable. It was okay.
How was the clutch action? It was consistent in the heat, or was it getting harder and harder in the heat?
No, it was absolutely consistent.
Nothing. So the clutch didn't change.
No,
the weight didn't change in the heat.
Nothing.
And you rode the 310 GS also for a stretch.
Yes.
What were the few things which you felt were like quite different from this?
The engine noise was high on the 310 compared to this, because here
you're talking of the intake noise, not the exhaust.
Intake.
The roar.
It was like a
growling.
Yes.
Too loud.
Even with a little bit of even with the earplugs in, it was loud.
Howl.
And then a very different kind of an acceleration in that. This is probably I'm used to it, because I'm used to riding this now. It was an easy acceleration here. Mine is a little bit more lighter, but that was a little tougher, or a little rougher, I would say. But I don't know, maybe the riding posture was a little different for me there, and the seat was too soft.
Okay.
So it was like kind of I was
down to the plate.
in. Yeah, I was sank in. Yeah, but it's no doubt about it. It has its own pluses and minuses and stuff. And
what was anything better than this on the 310 years? What was better?
I really can't pinpoint in that sense, because I rode it probably for about 50 odd kilometers, I guess. That engine noise was too much for me.
It is. When I was riding, of course, some of you will be going past, closer, and I will know when. I don't need to look in the mirror.
You can even.
I know that KK is coming.
I too got the same thing. Whenever I saw you both coming on your V and Dodda on his KTM, I wouldn't even know unless I saw you guys in the mirror. There was no way I would know that you were coming in. But KK, I would know. Oh, that engine.
You guys, when you used to go past me, all I could hear was that chain noise. That's all I can hear. Yes. But when KK goes past, can you hear that? Oh, the intake roar is. Let me not bash the 310 GS anymore. I have done enough bashing of that. I will risk repeating myself again and again. In this segment, people wanting to tour, please, confidently, with courage, go buy the KTM 390. Yeah, look no further. It will reward. Please don't pay much attention to all that hard suspension, alloy wheels. Nobody has broken an alloy wheel till now. It's all there. You can't break this. If you're going to hit something and break the alloy wheel, then you'll break the spoke wheel also. Or you're going to bend it out of shape. that will be the end of the ride. So
Even that makes a big difference.
suspension is hard. That's okay. It's all right. It is hard. It is firm, and it's got adequate travel. There is nothing that even comes close. If budget does not permit, like what TMK did, it's a choice. Pick up the 250 Adventure. Amazing ride. I had a fantastic time with you guys. We had, though it was a V-Strom 650, 2 KTM 390 Adventures, 1 310 GS. They're all matched in similar performance, similar mentality, riding styles.
True.
So there was nowhere one had any advantage over the other. Looking forward to more trips.
Sure, me too. Always a pleasure. Yep.
This is on steroids. That is just on some Bonvita or Complan. So you can do that.